Okay, another scenario. So, slap in the face. A slap in the face, September 1st, 1939. Although the Poles were surprised by the German attack, they frequently gave as good as they got. In the Novy Targ region, the Polish 10th Cavalry Brigade encountered the lead units of the German 2nd Panzer Division. Here the Poles, equipped with a few Polish tanks, gave the Germans quite a surprise. So, surprised me. No artillery available. So we have pretty much an armored column. Bikes, tanks, probably, yeah. Anti-air, basically a truck with a anti-air machine gun and infantry inside. So huge amount of armored equipment, and all their flags are in a singular place. Turn length only 10, so it's a quick and bloody battle. What's the visibility? 77. Okay. Motorcycles. They have a close range SMG. They might be good for taking on the enemy. What I mean is, taking the initial fire from the enemy, because I don't see them being particularly useful. Yeah, just go in there and die, basically. What? Didn't see anyone. Didn't expect that. So let's try this. That is odd. I'm going to spread this around, basically trying to discover the enemy locations. This is an assault. It can't be. Holy shit, these don't have any guns. Our tanks have machine guns only. That's gonna be fun. So the southern group is in no way equipped to take on tanks. What about you? Rifle squads. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to go. I'm going to mostly travel by road. We need to quickly move to the positions where the actual fighting starts. I'm sort of skeptical about the Polish chances. Well, at least these guys have a gun. The problem with them is that even our transport vehicles have an anti-air machine gun. That's not a Ooh, they might have aircraft. Yeah, set range. No, not quite. 15 hexes. We do have a few tanks capable of fighting against other tanks. These guys are okay too. So, but we definitely want our infantry or whatever vehicles to encounter them first. We need their locations before we send in any kind of a proper tanks to deal with them. We have good tanks on the center. These are machine gun tanks, so fairly worthless. Still, we have maybe a platoon worth, so 3 or 4 good tanks, then a lot of trash tanks. They're basically they're not any better than normal armored vehicles. Mm, you should not go first. You're the lead unit. So rifle squads, rifle squads. The problem here is that the enemy tanks are going to be in a ready position, so they'll have a very good accuracy. Also, how are we going to attack these? There's a guaranteed that the enemy has troops in every single house here. Infantry. Probably infantry in that forest there too. More importantly, we need to know where their tanks are. We don't have that much infantry. We have a lot of shitty tanks. I mean, real bottom of the barrel shit. I guess it's an easy mistake to make here that you think you have a huge amount of armor, so you think you can just walk all the enemy, but looking closely, you don't really have that many good units of this era. You have crap. That's what you have. What is this? And the air machine gun. Well, they all have anti-air machine guns. So, fairly short mission. Already a second turn. Okay, Let's start with the basics. You are a command unit. You cannot be the first to assault. So, next. Yeah, motorcycles. You're the command unit of the motorcycle group, so don't move yet. I need to know where the units are located. We should be destroyed fairly soon. Yeah. So all the buildings have troops and the motorcycle units aren't able to see shit. So maybe I should move them in accordance with the rest of the vehicles. At least at the same time. Because they do have a machine gun, so if we draw the enemy fire with other units, they can quickly swoop in and offer some kind of serious damage there. So it makes no sense to just throw them away. Yeah, I'm dumping you out. So it looks like when the flags really are when we are first going to start seeing any enemies. So we could try to sort of flank them. Not sure if it will work for me or against me. We don't have a lot of time. We have to keep that constantly in mind. Good. Do damage or we're fudge. We're in a bit of trouble here. I am going in just to see who fires on us. But I don't want to throw away the motorcycles either. They're at least potential, very useful quick attack group. They have about 4 shots once they've moved their full amount. These are the machine gun tanks. Okay, I'm hoping that'll suppress that unit at least. More shitty tanks. I'm moving into firing position. I know there's gonna be troops in those buildings. I'm trying to keep the Panzer 3 and 4 out of the front lines. Simply because they are the only, well, the 2Cs also have a gun, but it's not all that great. But our main tanks are the Panzer 1s. They don't have even have a gun. So we'll let those be our first wave. At least to the point where we know where the enemy tanks are and we can react accordingly. And this is why I don't think they have a chance, because the truck machine guns on their own are very lethal to infantry. So and even if they have a few tanks, trying to destroy this amount of these, for lack of a better word, APCs, although they're not quite that. Even the suppression fire alone that these can make is enough to disable a tank or two. So it's very hard to actually fight against those. Panzer 4, we don't have a lot of these. I'm inclined to move a little bit, well, I'm moving at the center at the moment. I'm inclined to move behind some other units. Simply so, no matter where we go, it cannot possibly be the one unit that stumbles on the enemy. Same here, we'll let everyone else move first. And this is a flak cannon, but I don't think it's going to be of much use, especially if I don't just move it. Even if they have a plane, it's the likelihood that it could possibly hit it, it's very low. So they're pinned. Let's see if we can. No, you are not going to be the one to see it though. Someone's going. Neither are you. Okay, we're already moving fast. And still, the enemies just waits and waits and waits. That's bad for us, because that means it's actually trying to delay or defend. Things will change once we start capturing flags, but we don't have a lot of time. Okay, this is our command unit going in first, naturally. You. I'll move a few tanks first. I'll see if I can get a reaction out of them. I don't think I can, so. Now we're seeing things. This is what I wanted to do with this. Basically drive retreating units and see if we can cause them to be wiped out. Yeah, not exactly a huge surprise. I'm rallying it not because I want to particularly fight with this guy, because visibility is also determined by your suppression rate. Hmm. Okay, pinned. Let's see if it's. Are we able to go next to it? Yep, we should be able to flush it out. So, next. So what the hell am I gonna do with you? Well, and it's out. Yep. Excellent work. Yeah, don't underestimate the motorcycles. They're exactly what we need here. Fast attack and the infantry units. So throwing them away as scout units of alarms is a bad idea. They're much more useful than that. I do want to capture some. Oh shit! Capture something fairly fast. I'm hoping it'll drag some of the infantry out of position, which is very likely, I think, because it's a computer. Not a smart thing to do, but he'll do it. We're gonna need more casualties on it, otherwise they'll fire on us, and then we're in deep trouble. And we're gonna be in deep trouble. Lovely. Oh no. What else? How are we gonna get past this? There's enemies here. There has to be enemies here. Every building is going to have a goddamn squad. Our only salvation here is that he's basically waiting, trying to ambush us. It works to a certain extent. It's not a bad idea to do. The problem is, at one point it will stop working. But the computer doesn't really seem to acknowledge that can happen. I'm thinking he'll go for the flag. Well, we're not in a bad position anyway. If there's any kind of movement towards the flag, we can pretty much get through that. But it's on turn 3 now. So, and I'm thinking their heaviest defenses will be here. But we don't really have a lot of time to delay this. You're not going to be the one moving first. You can be. Oh shit! Anti-tank gun! Crap! Crap. Okay, that wasn't actually too bad. So... anti-tank gun type of enemies have to be taken out without tanks. No tank can get involved with that. Shit. I think it could fire here. But at least now it's revealed. It'll help. We can send some of these to harass it. I need to suppress the tank gun more so I can move something next to it. And the threat of the tank gun is over. It's not gonna have a single tank gun though. He's going to have several. But one of them is now dead. Yeah, we're in a bad position. Machine gun with no shots. Shit. Yeah, it's gonna die. Oh. Gunfire. They surrendered. Ah. Yeah, I'm not going next. The problem with me knowing where they are, and it's not like you need vast knowledge of how the game works to do that. It's just common sense. Where would you position your troops? Is that I'm going to avoid going into those ambushes that they've set up. That's the big problem with that tactic. If you can't do something unexpected, you're never gonna ambush anyone. That's sort of the point. Just because it's a good place to ambush someone doesn't mean it's a good place to ambush someone, because if it's if it's a too obvious place, no one's going to fall for that. If you're going to use the obvious place, you're going to have to force the issue. I guess the flags sort of force the issue, but not well enough, I think. They make it sure that I have to go there, but I'm still not gonna go there like the enemy wants me to, so it's not going to be much of an ambush against me. We are going to need our infantry guy here though, and it's staying free. I'm not sure if it's going to be even much of a delay for me. We're on turn 3 and we're pretty much reached the first flags. So, in order for them to be a proper delay, they would have to at least get a few shots fired at us. As long as we're in pretty much full combat capability, it just isn't working. And now they're so suppressed they can't return fire anymore. I'm still waiting for those tanks though, they might change things quite a bit. There is a timing issue here, we'll have to keep that in mind. So, but so far they haven't been able to do much. There are the tanks. 7TPJW, I have no idea how good they are. At least they have some kind of sort of a gun, so they're better than most of our tanks. And the units are now on the move, trying to recapture things. So yeah, their defensive line will basically fall apart. Tank machine gun, TKS. So this is more of a tank machine gun, same shit that we have. Decent armoring though. Nice armoring. It's 7TPJW. It's an okay tank as far as this era is concerned. It has a decent gun, it has a machine gun, decent frontal armor. It's slow, but it's just fine. They have quite a few of them. That's the bigger problem. They definitely outnumber our tanks. I mean the worthwhile tanks. So we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Is there actually someone there? Not seen any reaction fire. So someone's going to have to just try there, I suppose. Shit. There's no one there. We are going to have to keep moving infantry along. we have to take some of the tanks out with our infantry or something, or suppress them to all the hell with our the vehicle mounted machine guns or infantry. Something. We can't have a tank versus tank battle here. That won't go our way. Shit. Yeah, it's firing from a large distance. I wanted to kill it because actually getting rid of these units will have a significant impact on morale. So, yeah, there's an infantry, and we're dead. Which is fine. Actually, we're not even dead. And this is our command unit, so that's not fine actually. So that was a dumb as shit move on my part. Ooh, anti-tank gun. Can't stop there. Keep firing at me. Excellent. Because they wasted their anti-tank gunshots. So. Wait a minute. Someone needs to start taking these. Let's hope they're suppressed enough. Good to go. Oh, lovely. Now, yeah, they're done for. I'll try to suppress the anti-tank gun. Yeah, you're not gonna escape a motorcycle group. Just putting it out there. Okay. I'll have to take cover from the tanks. At the same time, take care of the anti-tank gun. Up the infantry. Finish things. Yeah, it's gone. More casualties. So what's our plan with the tanks? We have a plan. Shit. So there's more tanks there. Yeah, I'd say there's at least 2 platoons of tanks. We have maybe one that we can throw against them that is capable of engaging them. So we are going to have to pull some kind of rapid out of our asses. The situation is in no way bad though. I'm sort of Can I undo that? I'm sort of positioning myself to engage the tanks now. I don't give a crap about these guys. Because taking control of these will force them to make some kind of a counter-offensive. That might be something we can use to take these, or at least position ourselves so we can take the tanks better. The problem is, if we just position ourselves, the time will run out and we'll probably fail this anyway. So we'll have to think of something else. Get out. What kind of weaponry are we talking about? Yeah, the infantry, anything but the few tanks are not capable of taking these out. They might suppress them to the point that they'll abandon them or make them vulnerable to some kind of other assault, but it's very unlikely to work. Hmm. For God's sakes, hit it. Yeah, shit. This is purely suppression fire. I'm also hoping that the casualties will start to inflict their overall morale. Yeah, another squad down. Moving fast. Yeah, no effect, no real effect at this point. Shit. Oh, thank God. Didn't even occur to me that time that there might be something there. I don't know why. Anyway. Retreating, routed. Shit, you dead. You're not dead. Excellent. Yeah, that squad is pretty much out of the fight now. You. I was going behind the building here in hopes to get protection from the tank fire. In one of our few tanks that might be able to do something. The problem with these hitting, these are much more accurate than the Panzer IVs, so these are the best hope to counter those. Yeah, 3 hits and not destroyed yet. Oh God. So this should be a flak cannon. Yep. Again, not good enough against the tanks, I think. Just doesn't have the penetration power. Yeah, 1 tank down. That's fairly good. Fairly good indeed. Now, Yeah, I guess we're more or less in a waiting position now. No, don't use these. Those can be easily destroyed with pretty much anything. Yeah, we need to position ourselves to counter the tanks. Start suppression fire. Even if we can keep even one crappy tank out of this, or reduce their shots by one, it's worth it. So another infantry group played out of the fight. Amazing. Amazingly bad how they're playing this. Yeah, at the point when we first started to shoot them in these buildings, they should have changed that. Do something else, anything else at that point. Extend the engagement range, whatever. Just don't sit there waiting for this to happen again and again and again and again. Okay, we do have a couple of these tanks that are worse than what they are throwing against us, but they still have a tank gun that is probably capable of destroying them. So the question is, what's the plan? How are we gonna form up here to encounter them? We're going to, especially this turn is the important one. What can you see? Yeah, that's we're probably going to encounter a couple of tanks. What about you? Same with you. I'm more or less happy with the position. Not so much with you. Okay, no, ooh. Take a few shots. Ooh, excellent. At least we got a hit on it. Excellent, excellent. I'm inclined to let them come at us for a turn. Go basically into hiding with a lot of these vehicles for a turn, then continue our full push towards the final flags. I feel we're well within our schedule to move because of the enemy hasn't been able to provide decent kind of a block against our force movements. So For now, just gonna take it easy. See how well this will work. So, let's see. What's the situation? Button. So, some of them are still moving towards us, but a lot of them seem to be more or less happy where they are. So, we can't wait. We just can't. So, guess our tactic now is to try to drain their shots. We'll see what proper tanks we have. Do they have firing solutions on some of them? Yes. Ah, kill it. No, you don't. Okay, I think that's all of our good tanks. So one had a decent spot and it destroyed its machine gun. So it only has a gun left. Okay, let's see what kind of damage we can cause here. What's our target? We can't really see anything. Now, get in there, you. This is our primary target. We need to properly suppress it. That might, even just that might do it. I'm fairly optimistic about our chances here in general. Shit. Okay, someone needs to suppress that one. Could you take take the shot? Okay. You have a chance to destroy it, I guess. Not a good one, but good enough. Yeah, we're living. It's sort of a hard adjustment for me. I'm playing at the same time now as the Panthers 2 modern battles, so it's basically the same game more or less, but with This is the Second World War. That's the equipment with the Panthers II is from 1915s to 1999. And infantry, in many aspects, this type of infantry is totally useless against tanks. I mean, not in this sense. They can take out tanks, but when a tank fires at them, it's going to slaughter you. The situation with infantry and tanks, the balance, is moved towards anti-tank missiles. So it's more about tanks don't have high explosive ammunition anymore in their main guns, and infantry more or less just relies on anti-tank missiles to try to do something. So it's the thought that you'd somehow destroy a modern tank with a hand grenade, it's so ludicrous. Oh. What the hell are we gonna do with you? Who are you even seeing? I don't care who it is, just shoot. Now that their morale is broken, I'd like to keep them running. Okay, we can easily take these flags. We need to move on to the last group. That's the difficult part. There is going to be a difficult part. Do we have any infantry capable of moving? Yeah, but we do want to have few units here to defend these locations. There might be one of these might turn around and go back to capturing, but that's something we can't really allow. So moving on. We need to keep them running. We need to attack the final flags from multiple directions at the same time. So even if they manage to offer resistance, we should be able to push through that. There's a limited amount of units you can counter, no matter who you really are. So a swarming tactic is perfectly viable. It's risky, because if the enemy gets a few good hits on your guys and gets a few kills early on, that's the end of your assault right there. Front armor against the enemy. Not that it matters, we're talking about the front. All our armor is 1 or 2 points, and it's exactly the same on all sides, so it's more of a habit than actually a worthwhile thing to do at this point. Yeah, we don't want to rush in things, so we're moving units into position so we can strike at the enemy at the same time with as many units as possible. They don't have to do any damage, they just have to go in there, draw fire, do whatever. Yeah, I don't really see a problem here. We have quite a large amount of these trucks loaded with troops, so even they are going to cause trouble for their tanks. Even if they can't take them out. It's still something hard to deal with. And the casualties will make a difference. They always do. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Everyone in your army is starting to surrender to the enemy. You're going to have a tough time saying to yourself that we need to keep on fighting to the last man. Everyone else has already given up, so what the hell are you fighting? Yeah, we don't really need to care about the details, just move towards the enemy. Maybe with the front armor, again, I think you have 2 armor in all sides here, so it won't make any kind of a difference. We just need warm bodies to throw against the enemy, that's what we really need. Anything will do. They don't have these many shots. Infantry would be preferred because it's very hard to fully destroy an infantry squad with a tank. Black Cannon, on the other hand, is perfectly suitable for the job. It's fairly accurate and good against high explosive ammunition, so good against infantry. Not good enough. Now, what do you see? This is our only anti-tank tank here. No, it isn't. Move behind that building. Here. We want to kill this entirely. It basically sees all of our hidden units. So it's not something we want to keep there. Thank you. So, 2/3, we don't have that, but we have most of the areas. Our biggest strength is coming from the northern side, so we don't want to rush in with these. They don't even have anti-tank capabilities. We're better off even just waiting for a turn at least. Shit. Yeah, we're just waiting for a chance. Try to shoot those. Excellent, excellent. Would be perfect if the tanks would try to flush us out here. Shit. We don't want to leave this guy here. So, go to cover. Whoops. There's nothing wrong with their tanks. Very, very, very capable. And now they're positioned. That's bad. They're very accurate. We'll have to end this fight more or less on this turn. Have to draw their fire and then just rush in with everything that might actually have a chance of killing something. So excellent. The suppression effect on this is probably very minor, but it's still something. It's buttoned. It did have an effect. Not exactly out of the fight yet, but we'll have to keep in mind that these are not capable of really destroying it unless they get really, really lucky. And that's something you can't just rely on. Go in. Oh shit. Anyway, go in. Not exactly a lot of suppression effects. They won't have infantry. There could be more tanks there. Well, the one that fired earlier might have been this one. I need to see. What is that? So, more tanks could be here. Is it gonna react anymore? Well, no, but that is. Yeah, it sort of is reacting. Shit. Assault fails! At least we assaulted something. And more infantry. We're dead. It'd be nice to see these guys earlier. It's at least a worthwhile target to attack. We're not gonna do shit to that tank. So this might cost our lives though, so it's not exactly a terrible target to shoot at either. Try to get a casualty out of them. Come on. Run away! Well, we weren't exactly expecting a lot from this group anyway. It's all according to our terrible plan, but still. We definitely want to do something about the infantry rather than anything else. So. We can ooh, shit. More infantry. We can try an assault as we only have one shot left. chances are minimal, but it's worth taking. No, there's so many targets around it that it might not be able to do much. That's me hoping, though. I'm going to stay as targets here instead of just running away. Because the attack isn't just these units. We have a lot of other units coming from the north, so not interested. 2 targets. I know. Not interested. 3 targets. Not really interested. Now, you go in there and move on. So the southern group didn't achieve shit, but it revealed a few more targets and got itself into a lot of trouble. So that was more or less what I expected of it. On their own, they would probably just get killed here. So, what do we need to do? What is that? What the fuck is that? Yeah, it's a tank that only has a gun. I guess that's a tank destroyer. Its turret armor threat means that it's open at the top, so it's very vulnerable to being destroyed that way. Chuck a grenade in, or I think it just means that it's much more easier to destroy than the armor value would indicate. Probably depends on the weapon, naturally. Move your ass. So, mortar down. Mortar down. And a little bit of suppression there. So, there, yeah, it didn't bother him all that much. I do need to do something about that, otherwise he gets his shoot at our rear armor, which is exactly the same as our front armor. But still, do we have Panzer IIs? Yes. Destroy it. Ooh, excellent. Doesn't have a weapon anymore, so I'm trying to get it to escape. I don't want to stay here and try to destroy it. It's perfectly harmless now. We need to push forward to the actual sites. Drop infantry. Suppress. More infantry. We nicely played them out of the fight. Shit. Yep. That's what they had behind here. Not you, Chuck. Still. Uber suppression probably never hurts. Holy shit. That's what it means. We basically destroyed that with a rifle grenade. If it had a closed top, that would have never worked in a million years. But open top, it's a gigantic vulnerability. You don't see it in tanks. It's usually some kind of a, basically some kind of a gun that has a shield in front of it, I guess. That's so frontal fire on it will be pretty much the same as trying to shoot a tank. But it's not a tank. It's just a mobile gun. Suppress, you bastards. Well, the fact that we managed to take a flag is a problem for them. They're probably now to try to make some kind of a move to retake those. That always means that they'll move when they probably should stay still and just fire. Full speed ahead. There's no reason to hold back anymore. They can cause a few casualties on us, but that's all they can possibly cause, and that's good enough. After those couple of casualties, they're so vulnerable that anything can take them out. So this is a proper anti-tank cable unit. There's no point really shooting at that guy anymore. He has no weapon. So moving in, just take the shot. Terrible shots, but that's what happens when you move a lot anyway. I guess I could try to take out the goddamn tank gun here, or mobile gun. I don't think I will. I'd rather move here. Can do some kind of cleanup effort with the infantry, I suppose. Still positioned. Whatever these guys are, they have a nice leadership or morale. They're getting shot quite a bit, and they're not really phased by it. They're just ignoring it. We do have a proper tank here, and this isn't bad at all. Yes, the mortar cycle in. Might as well make sure that these guys aren't gonna get their courage back suddenly. Edit button at least. No, no. No, nothing. Screw you. Assault fails. And it's still just position. God damn, that's a great tank pilot right there. Guys are harassing it from all directions. He isn't even phased a little bit. But it's over for them. I'm sure they can cause me a little bit of casualties and trouble, but there's no way in hell they can stop this attack. It's even if they hit with 100% accuracy, it's still over for them. So, but well, that would be pretty bad for us, though. So, hopefully they have a little bit poorer hit accuracy. Get the troops out, start shooting. You can't button a single goddamn tank. Is it now buttoned? No, it's took a hit though. It has no weapons anymore, so we can ignore it. So what next? And enemy surrenders. Any more units we want to send here? I don't think so. So let's just end this. Yeah, they didn't manage to do anything. That's routed. That's routed. So routed. It's over. It's truly over. Can't we shoot? We have no shots. But why? I guess we moved too much and shot too much. Yeah, this is just cleanup at this point. We'll move some unit to capture those flags and just kill everything. And you can't shoot either. Lovely. Surrenders. Surrenders. I'm hoping to get them to retreat or stay routed. Whatever, once they aren't attacking us. Yeah, destroy it. That should be well routed now. So. Yeah, now it's open. Let's see if we can cause any casualties, but... And we're routed. We tried to assault, but our morale didn't hold up, so... We're unable to really do anything anymore. Assault fails! It's getting crowded in here. Do we have something that could actually destroy something? This guy doesn't have a weapon though. What the fuck am I shooting at it? Although guy probably doesn't have a weapon either. Yeah, just escape. So, any guys with a yeah, finish it. No, you finish it. Any shot will probably destroy it. So, we should have the capability of destroying this too. Yeah, immobilized. It's mainly because of the top. Top is open. They'll abandon it if nothing else. Tank destroyed. Is that it? That should be it. German 1182, Polish 24. Yeah, decisive victory. They had okay tanks, but it just having okay tanks is not enough when the enemy has a huge swarm of vehicles like that. The suppression value alone you can push out of those troop moving trucks with the anti-air machine guns is big enough that it just won't work. You'd have to have something to screen out the vehicles first, I mean the trucks. It doesn't require much, but it has to be there, otherwise your tanks will never get the chance to fight the tank battle. And if that doesn't happen, it ends up like that. They had okay tanks, but they never got to fight. That happened with a lot of their infantry too. So I guess they could have surprised the Germans with okay tanks, but just having a few tanks there is not enough.